Hey everyone, today I am talking with Aakash, a money mastery student who's completely transformed his family's financial future. Before joining, he had a very little invested, and he actually recently crossed the $200,000 milestone, all because he built a solid financial system. So today we're going to go ahead and break down exactly what changed, some of the key lessons that he's learned, and how he's approaching money with a completely different mindset. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Akash, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Josh. Nice to see you here, man. Doing good. It's been a great journey. I would say when I look back, probably year and a half. I can't imagine how I came in here so far. So I'm quite excited.
It's crazy what happens when you start moving
Yeah,
with organized intention, isn't it?
yeah. And just to be correct, is now I'm at 300K now. Is it was 200K about 6 months back? It's 300K now actually.
That's
300K
right.
plus now.
The stock market's been doing really well. So
Yeah. And I feel like once you start paying attention to something, you actually start to gain automatically. You don't really have to do much once you fix your strategy. And I think this is what I got from your course as well.
Mhm.
And I think that's what helping me. I'm not doing much, but I think it's automatically kind of compiling by itself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh,
Why don't you help us maybe give people who are listening a little context around maybe where you were before joining Money Mastery and maybe some of your experiences or what you thought investing was like. Maybe help us understand like the journey before you jumped in
yeah,
into the
yeah.
program.
Okay, so I'll go right before it. I actually had few failed attempts and few successful attempts before I kind of found you. So I think back in, okay, my dad was quite good with money, but he knew how to fish, but he never taught us how to fish. So what
Mhm.
he wanted always to give him money and then he will do the best he can, but the knowledge was never transferred to us. So to me, I never saw the money. The money I passed to him, never saw. So it doesn't really feel it's my money anymore. Then I start to feel bit of anxiety. Then what happens? I want to do the investment kind of thing or the saving kind of thing, but I didn't know how to start. Then one of my ex bosses, he and that was I was back in India at that point of time. He introduced me like mutual funds. He said, "Oh, you don't need to see anything. You take fixed money that is for SIP, and you just throw it. They will divide your money into five pieces, and then they invest." I started doing it with like $10 a month or something like that. Then what happened is, first few 1 or 2 years, I start to lose money. Then I went back to him. I say, "Hey, I'm losing money, man." Is he say you hold on? This is a long term investment. So I think my concept start to come from there, but I didn't feel confident enough. After that, he told me one more thing. I said, my gains are very small compared to yours. He say, if you invest peanuts, you would expect peanuts to come back. If you want potatoes, you need to invest potatoes. So that was another good wisdom he gave me. But then I was just kept pumping money into the SEPs. I actually increased my SEPs by like $1,000 a month. I started to compile quite a lot, but the problem with that was I didn't know how it was working and I didn't know what percentage of the commission I was paying. So even though I could see it growing, but I really did not know how it was working. I was not confident enough to handle that money by myself, basically. I was not really confident enough to take out that money or do what that with that money. What if that the company could probably take that money and run away as well? So
Let me quickly throw out something.
yeah.
This, August, this is something I've also realized where I think even on social media, if you pay a little bit of attention to the market hustle or any finance page, you've almost certainly heard of index funds or mutual funds.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to hear the word, it's another thing to actually understand how they work behind the
Yeah. Yeah.
scenes and build an actual strategy. So to your point, this is something I talk with people all the time. It's where like they don't you don't know what you don't know until you actually
Yeah,
dive
yeah,
in
yeah,
and start learning
yeah.
stuff, right?
I think that's what I done after a while is when you start to pay attention, you start to really have the interest, you start to explore. And if you get what I find with your content is properly structured for a beginner level who doesn't know anything. And I think, okay, I'll cover a bit of my story before I come in here because that will make sense. So what I did after that, it was growing. Then I stopped. I continued that investment a bit. I think it was about 70, 80K around. By the time I left, it was almost like 10 years. Even after doing that, As that money basically to do what with that money. I moved to Singapore. I was my enjoyment mode, no more saving. I was just traveling around, whatnot. Then one friend said, "Oh, you can invest in crypto. Crypto is like booming." Boom! I throw in 30K into crypto. It became $8,000 from 30K. So lose money, which is good as well. Actually, sometimes
Yeah.
I think losing money is also good, is because it teaches you lesson basically. There's no nothing called like fast money. Basically, people think of fast money or you invest and you get a fast money. I mean, it is a game for some, but it's not for all basically. So I learned my lesson. This is not for me. Is lose money. So this is not where I should be going. Then what I did is I actually engaged two financial advisors in Singapore. I got a bit of some money from somewhere, so I had one financial advisor. What he did it to me is quite funny, and that's what happens when you're ignorant and you don't know what to do. That's how you lose your money. So he put me in 30K into one policy, which basically pays me very little amount. That is after 5 years. And I was quite funny. If I would have calculated the interest I would get on the savings account would have been much more higher than what I was getting from that.
Wow.
Then other 70K, he locked me in for 5 years, which was not paying me anything, and it would start paying me only after 5 years. So that was 100K gone. I that time I was happy. I did some investment, so I was happy. I kept one side. Then I start to feel a bit anxiety. It's like I'm not getting anything out of that 100K basically. So I got the financial advisor. He reviewed my first one. He said, "Oh, you had made a bad investment. Let me correct for you." So he sold me another three policies basically.
Oh no.
So at that point, my financials or my job was very good. So I had no problem in signing up. I thought I can manage. It's like an operating cost. I can manage it. And boom, that's where the life happens. I thought I never left. I never lost a job in 18 years. Why would I lose job now?
Mhm.
And and good part, before even that, I thought I oversubscribed a lot of these commitments with the financial advisors. And I got introduced to your course. I bought the first course, which is I think Money Mastery,
Mhm.
the PDF one, and the start to go through it, learn. I think I read like twice to get a better understanding. I was like, man, this is what I've been looking. Somebody would have given me this information before I would have been much more happy. Okay, so I think I forgot one thing to mention. Before that, I tried one more thing. I had one friend who was from my cycling group. He does a lot of stocks trading. He goes on a lot of speeches as well. So I approached him. Can you give me a bit of on stock trading or investment? He charged me about 2 to 3K. I paid him 2 to 3K, got into his class, started with the technical analysis. So basically
Yeah.
means within 30 minutes, I did not know anything what is happening after that. It's not his fault. It's probably my fault because I came with the expectation that I'm a beginner and I'm going to the class to learn something. But I think that was not for me. I'm not there for technical analysis. I don't have that much time to do it. It's not my full-time job, which is good as well because everything I touched and paid money for, I realized it's not for me basically. So when I came into your course, it's like, oh, this is good. This is what I was looking for. I want like something slow paced where I don't have to waste my time every single day, and I really like it doing. So yeah, I think that's how I reach to you. I mean, to your course and everything, and that's where I start to realize the bad investments I made. Yeah, yeah, that was my life before, and I can tell you, by the time I reached to your course, my saving account, not saving account, by my investment account only had $500 in really sitting into the IBKR account. There was nothing else other than 500, not 500, $500 basically.
Wow. Okay. And now you're at
Yeah.
300,000.
Yes, that's how I was like, I myself was surprised that how did I manage to even come to this point, basically.
That's absolutely incredible. And I think it's really a testament to what happens when you take the time to understand, like dive
Yeah,
into the deep concepts, which is what money mastery does, right?
yeah, yeah,
It's structured in a way to help you. It's kind of like an onion, right? You start with the first layer, second
yeah,
layer,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
build your foundation. That way, you'll naturally have the confidence to invest more aggressively. Because,
yeah,
and to your point, with your background, when you're first in the beginning stages, like you might hear about a mutual fund or an index fund, but it's harder to take investing seriously if you don't fully understand it. And most
yeah,
importantly, trust it. It's like if you don't
yeah,
trust the strategy you're implementing, odds are you're not going to invest
yeah,
in the most optimal way. So like
Yeah.
now you have your system built out and you fully
Yeah.
trust it because you
Yeah.
understand it, which is the whole point of money mastery. And now you've been able to invest more aggressively and spend more strategically, right? Like you're not just throwing money at anything. You know what to do. You have a plan and you're sticking to it, which is awesome. And I'm so happy you're able to share this story with everybody
Yeah.
on the
To
outside.
your point, to your point as well, like I said, I was not confident enough to handle 70K. I'm confident enough to handle like 300 plus K. I have no problem handling it. So I think that's the confidence kind of I got from your course as well, and not only for me. I can actually speak for my wife as well. She doesn't do any investment or anything. She got started basically. I mean, she still doesn't do it. She relies on me. I take her IBKR account. I take her money and put it here, there, and all. But eventually, I'm happy that not only is changing my life, but my family's life in that sense as well.
And that's awesome. And I'm sure as she's watching your progress kind of unfold, that's probably getting her more interested. She's like, all right, let's hear a little bit more about this.
But she is happy because I think it took me about 6 months to convince her. She's like a typical traditional savings mindset that you put money into your savings account and just fixed deposit and just let it be there, and fixed deposit like 2% per year. That's quite funny to me when I come. I mean, now I can talk because I see the stuff, I can
Right.
experience it, so I can say I find it funny, but I didn't think of it before because I had no knowledge. So if you don't know, you don't know. Basically, you never say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that first off, thanks for sharing that. And I kind of want to dive into more of the money management side, or I think it's definitely related to investing because I think the more you understand investing, you naturally get better at managing money because you start to see like, okay, I don't want to spend money on bullshit. I'd rather invest
Yeah.
it so I can buy more freedom, like buy
Yeah.
more options in the
Yeah.
future. So I'm curious, like, did you notice any transition between how you've managed money after you went through money mastery and built your investing system compared to before? Like, was there a difference in how you viewed money or just money, your money management skills in general?
Actually, I would say it's huge difference. Okay, the first difference I would mention is, okay. So when people see as investing, they only see, oh, stock market. I put my money, take out my money, I make the profit. And sometimes say, oh, I get this like $200, $300. I can probably go buy something or buy a phone or something like that. But when I came to your course, is like, to me is a holistic view that I got. That never had the perspective, which basically divides into, oh, you should have the emergency fund, then you should have this retirement planning, and how do you really make the choices in your life where you only buy things you really need. You don't need to spend money into you. You basically give it a bit of thought. Last time I didn't give, like I was just like this. Money come in, money go out. And I was quite surprised because when me and my wife were looking to buy the house, my account was zero. My wife was like, what are you exactly? I mean, I was earning like double of my what my wife makes,
Mhm.
and she has more money than I have. So you can consider how my money was like flowing out all the time. And now I can tell you it's like a totally 360-degree shift, and it's not the same condition right now. So that's what I like, and I actually experience it. So sometimes you just do planning, but you never experience it. You never know the value. I
Yeah.
experience it. First thing, when I got your money mastery last year, 1.5 years back, I started to build my emergency fund. And boom, this January 2025, I lost my job. And I was not in tension. All of my colleagues, like my boss, was in tension and all that stuff. I was not in tension because I had enough funds to last me at least 1+ year. And until that time, my wife was not working as well. My wife also took a break because we got a small kid. So my entire house has no income coming, but I like every day get out, go for gym. Okay, take it like a holiday and kind of thing. We even went Hong Kong for trip and then come back. So I could say I really enjoyed like those 3 4 months to feel like how the retirement is really going to feel. Now that basically inspires me to do it more basically.
You got a little taste of the financial
Yeah,
freedom. Well,
yeah. So
and it's cool because like I think a lot of people maybe even listening to this, like you might kind of underestimate an emergency fund. Because like I think again, this is something people hear, like everybody
yeah,
hears to build a savings, but like once you actually plot it out and plan it and actually build it up, it can save your ass. Like, it literally saved you
it's
without having to worry about. Imagine if you didn't go through the course, didn't build the structured foundation,
yeah.
and then you did get
Oh, I
laid off,
agree.
it'd be a completely different scenario. you know?
I mean, I can tell you, like, my wife was taking the break because baby was born, and she's not in a mood of looking for a job. She wants still want to continue on a break. I have a house mortgage going. I have other baby expenses. I take baby to this classes, that classes.
Mhm.
I actually had nothing. I didn't need to do any readjustment into my life because I already built my foundation in terms of the emergency fund, in terms of how I spend my money as well. Since I got more time, I stopped taking taxi kind of thing. A bit here were small adjustments, but other than that, I had no tension that why did I lose a job? What will I do next? I don't need to. What I need to focus on. Oh, how can I do my skill upgrades? I have money, so I don't need to worry so much. So I can focus on something else that can basically push me forward in that case.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have more clarity around like your future in general? So like maybe before, a lot of people tend to think like if they've never taken the time to build out a financial plan or a system, they might not know if they'll be able to retire, or
Yeah.
they might
Yeah.
think they have to work forever. Like now, you know your numbers. So like I'm guessing you probably feel a lot more
Yeah.
confident
Yeah.
in your future. Like you kind of understand what you're doing. Maybe share a
Yeah.
little bit about your insights around
Yeah.
how that's changed.
Okay. So that's where I coming from. Like, your course is kind of a holistic course. It does not talk about the stock investment. It talks
Everything.
about the entire retirement plan. Then stock or investment is just one part of it, the way I see it, basically. So I think for me is the biggest part in the entire course because that's what I was most worried about. How to how to be financially independent and retire. But I always focus on wrong item, which is how to make money through the investment or through the salary, or through getting promotion through the bonuses and all that stuff. I don't need to focus anymore. I'll give
Corporate
you other
ladder.
thing as well. Yeah. So in terms of it changed my thought process quite a lot. I'm sorry. What was your question? I forgot. I was talking to myself and I forgot the question.
Well, I think mostly kind of what you were touching on was before you were focused on getting that next raise, climbing the
Yeah.
corporate
Oh
ladder.
yeah.
That's how
Yes.
you thought of making money. And now that you understand the investing side, how has that kind of changed or shifted?
Oh, so it's actually a lot of mind shift change. I think it's more peaceful now. What used to happen last time, I used to fight for the jobs, like fighting with my colleagues to get a promotion. I want hike for $1,000 per month, extra hike, blah blah blah. Fight in the company, work overtime, come back home, log into the laptop, and try to do things to just to show up that I'm doing extra work, kind of thing. Okay, so after retrenchment, I got a 20% salary cut because the market is bad, which is fine by me, good enough for me. And I'm not actually tense because, to be honest, the money I would make out of bonus or the promotions, I'm actually more than that with the investment itself. So it's like 30% of my annual salary is made by my investment itself. So why would I have to go and fight? Rather, I can take that time and spend with my family right now. I come back, I log out by 5:30, come back, pick up my kid, play in the ground, bring him back, feed him, enjoy time with him. I don't need to work for weekends kind of stuff. So I think that is the whole perspective change. Okay, it's not a full financial freedom, but it's some kind of freedom that I feel
Yeah.
I gave it to myself, that I can spend time with my family in that sense. And I don't need to fight for money anymore, basically.
Oh, I love that. And in a way, you're just, now that you have the system built out, you can create your own raise. You don't have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
depend
yeah.
only
You create
on
your own race. Another,
which,
another good part that I forgot to mention is, so, like I mentioned, it took me about 6 months to convince my wife that there's something called investment. Why it's risky, but why you invest it as well. And we were talking about the magic number where you get retired. For me, you have that calculator, compound interesting calculator. I use
yes.
it every week. We might find funny. You already know the number. Why would you go about using every week? Because I like to readjust the number, see, oh, how much I can make, how much I want to readjust basically. Because your life changes, your annual
Yeah.
goals changes and all that stuff. Then I do it for my wife as well, and I do it for my kid as well. So even though my kid is like maybe 2 years now, I started making the investment for him as well. So my plan is to. It's quite funny because your compound calculator is very good. So you throw in 300 $300 per month, and if he continues like first 30 years, I continue for him, and another 30 years he continues. He get a $10 million by the time he retires, so he doesn't need to do any more saving basically. So I just need to do first 30 year, pass it to him, and then his problem he doesn't need. But now I'm doing a lot more investment. I'm pushing in a lot more money, and that is, I think, is the power of compounding that I learned through your course. a lot of people talk about compounding, but it's not really, it doesn't really sets in until you see the numbers yourself. You start playing
Yeah.
numbers by yourself, basically. And then I start to do the same thing for my wife. And I talked to her a few times. And when I show her the number, now she started working basically. Then now she knows her number as well. She knows how much she needs to push in and she wants to retire in basically.
Is awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's like it's changing my life, but it's also changing life for people around me as well. Because I not only my wife, I talk to few different people as well. I tell them, boss, is your retirement is your own responsibility, not somebody else's responsibility. I think that's what I learned. Is my money is me as my responsibility. My financial advisor and all is not their responsibility anymore, basically.
Yeah, and I think what's important also to highlight is at the end of the day, nobody's going to care more about your money than you are. And
Yes. Yes.
Akash, like you're an example. Like you're literally building generational wealth, like setting up
Yeah.
your kid, 2 years old, for massive amounts of wealth building to have more flexibility in their life. You're building that stage early enough because of the time you've invested to learn and even some of the mistakes, right? Like it's not like you came into this without any financial
Yeah.
mistakes. Like we all have things we wish we could change in the past, wishing we could
Yeah, I mean, I
make
wish
different
I would have
decisions.
started like 10 years before. So I met you 10 years before. But I think it's not a bad time now as well. So, and I'm happy. And I don't need to really spend my time. One thing I like is I don't have to look at charts. I don't have to spend too much time on the screen and trying to do a lot of calculation. It's just that its strategy is already there. Just push in basically.
Yeah, and to me, like that's the best way to use the stock market is using it as a tool to where you're not having to sit there and make it your second job. Because like you will see like, yeah, there's trading courses, there's crypto, there's all this random stuff where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
try to
yeah,
predict the market.
yeah.
But when you get into that game, it takes a lot of your attention and your
Sure, yeah,
energy. And that's time you can't spend on with your family, with your
yeah,
living your life,
yeah,
or
yeah. Because
building out your own career, right? Like even building your career to where you
yeah.
can take more money.
Yeah, because I think for different people, trading investment is a primary job, but
Mhm.
people like me, it's not the primary job. If it becomes my primary job, then I'll be happy as well because I think it's more interesting. One day, I hope in next 10 years, I can bye bye to my job and make it as a primary job. But I don't think it's possible, but I wish it is possible. So,
Well, and the best part is, and this is what I say in Money Mastery as well, is like start with building the foundation first. And then if you want to try trading or investing in
yeah,
individual stocks, like you can do that, but you're going to be doing it from a position of strength, not a
yeah,
position of desperation. Because
yeah.
a lot of people, what I've noticed is they'll get into trading because they see this fast money, the quick money,
Oh, happened to me,
and
happened to me.
it happens to lots of people.
I
And
have friends who talk to me because sometimes I post on Instagram how much I made. Sometimes so one thing I learned from your course is so one is my core which I keep as ETF, which basically keep generating the money. That's major part of my portfolio. But I also start to do, buy and sell. I lock in like 20% profit. I keep myself 20% lock in, buy, sell kind of thing. And I have individual stocks as well. Some of my friends reach out, but the way they talk to me is they just want fast money.
yeah,
And I try to explain to them. I sit with them in 1 hour call, explain them basically what your course says. I say this is what is. If you want to learn more, you can go here. But then I think is it comes from within where you want to lead to. Because after a while they will say, "Oh, which one should I buy? Can you tell me? Should I buy this one? Should I buy this one?" That's it, right. I explained you 1 year. I explained the entire concept, and you still cannot make decision yourselves. So I think until people don't build their foundation, they can't make any decisions. And I think that's a problem. So I think
yeah.
that's what your course gave me a foundation. I know I can make decision. I know what I'm doing. I know what is my risk appetite is, and I'm willing to. And I see the red skin. Oh, very good. I'm ready to buy now.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think what it really does as well is like if you want to explore the riskier stuff, tradings, options, or whatever it is, it's going to be easier to do that from the position of strength, right? Like
Yeah,
worst case scenario, if you make a bad trade, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like you're not gonna have to worry about your retirement collapsing because you have that foundation built from the beginning. And that's why I hammer it so heavily in Money Mastery is, for one, so you don't get into that desperation mode, which is where a lot of people make bad investing decisions because they have to try to find some magic in the markets and they make impulsive decisions and then they get burned. But for two, I would say most importantly is once you go through Money Mastery, it's designed in a way to help you weed out through all the bullshit. Right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
finance.
Oh, lot of it. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, I follow a lot of Instagram pages, and now to be honest, now I start to use Instagram is more of like a learning for me. I follow different one, try to learn. But the thing is, it's it's a lot of noise. Is you can get lost very fast. Every single person is saying, you buy this one, you buy this one, you buy this one. And what you're not saying what to buy, you are saying how to make right decision to invest in, and you don't need to spend too much time thinking when you have to exit. Basically, to me, is a win-win. I think one thing I did not cover is during that time I got retrenched. I also realized I made bad commitments in the sense. So when I run your course, I know what is what and how I supposed to be doing my investment. I realized that I shouldn't have made the investment commitments with my financial advisor that I made. I mean, probably at that time I did not know, and it aligned what I wanted. I mean, so in my view, if we don't know, then it's okay because you're paying somebody else to do your job basically.
Mhm.
But once you figure out, now I kind of recently I kind of readjusted my commitments. I canceled some of the policy, even though I took the loss on them. Like that 70K I was talking about, locked in for 5 years. I tried to cancel. They said, oh, if you cancel now, you will only get 60K out of it. 10K will be as a penalty. I say I'm fine because if I do calculation, the 60K for 4 years, 10%, I'm still higher than what I'm going to get nothing basically.
From that
And
policy. Yeah.
yeah. And then there was another commitment, few commitments I made like 5K per year for me, for my wife and something. I recently canceled them to be honest, and I changed them to a term policy. So what I was trying to say is your course did not only give me investment mindset, but also gave me a mindset from the insurance perspective. It let me explore. It let me kind of teach me how to do your own research. What
Yeah.
is best for you? What is not best? So I was able to do that research. I was able to reduce my commitment. So point being is the thing I'm doing based on your course or based on what I learn is a non-commitment. So tomorrow I lose job, I don't need to push any more money. I'm not owing anybody any money. But in terms of my financial advisor, if I didn't do it, doesn't matter I have job or not, I still have to pay them the money basically. So
Yeah.
I think I freed myself. I did not free myself totally. Probably I'll be able to free myself when I become 50 because that's where I have my most of my commitment. But I managed to, through the course, through the learning, through the research, I managed to free like 30% of my money from there, and I can push the 30% back to my own investment that I can control myself.
That's incredible, man. And it's awesome just to see the progress you've made in relatively not a long time. Like it's only been about a year and a half, you said, and the whole financial life
So
trajectory.
damn change, man. Damn change. And also, like, okay, one more thing. In your course, you mentioned about Roth IRA and all. Sometimes it's not relatable in terms of Singapore,
Yes.
but I was able to like I use ChatGPT and just get a kind of what I can do. So I recently, not say recently, around that time when I was doing your course, I also started something called Roth, similar to we call SRS here. Is basically you throw in the money, is once you throw it becomes a tax free, basically deducts from your income tax. So it reduces your income tax as such.
Okay.
And then you take that money and you put back into the market. So what I do now is I throw in about 6K right now. I mean, cap is 15K, but I'm throwing only 6K into it because it gets locked until I become 55 or something. I throw in 6K. So 6,000 per year reduced from my taxable income, which is saving me about $1,000 or something there. And then I use the 6,000, put it back to the index funds again. That is fetching another 10%. All right. So so that's what the course gave me. Is not sometimes is exactly the same, but actually is relatable in most of the countries as well. So it's not like, oh, it's just because of US, it just was US. You can use it anywhere you want. Just have to readjust, play it out a bit.
Yeah, and that's a great point because the cool thing with Money Mastery is we do have students all around the world. And Akash, I know you're active in our community, the Money Mastery community, and people will tend to ask questions, finding the equivalents funds or accounts in their country. The good news is Money Mastery teaches you that foundation, and then it's
Yes.
easy to find the equivalents pretty much to understand
Yeah.
them in your own country.
Yeah, I think your course is more of foundation. So I think once you build your foundation, I think it's like your foundation is done. So you can find the upper layer as in you can do your own research and find it. You don't need to ask that question. So it is quite relevant to me because I think it gave me a depth that I didn't have. I'm able to manage my stuff how I want to manage, and I feel more confident. I when I'm gonna retire, what I'm gonna give my kid, and how I'm gonna empower it. So it's not only empowering me, but my kid as well, because I'm gonna pass on to this knowledge to him as well. I'm gonna bring him into the game itself. I'm gonna pay him money. I'm gonna ask him open the account and run his business as well, like that. So,
And that's powerful stuff right there. Really, I mean, it is because again, that's how I visioned it is building money mastery to where you can move through life financially with strength rather than just hoping things work.
yeah,
Right? You're
yeah,
building
yeah,
with
yeah.
strategy, not hope and guessing, which completely transforms everything.
I think most people go by guessing, and most people start to think retirement when they hit like 50. And I'm glad that I saw your page and I can think of my retirement when I'm 40. I'm not even hitting 40. So I'm quite happy that I'm soon hitting 40, and then I'm able to manage itself enough that I'm able to have enough capital. So even if I don't put anything, by the time of my retirement, I have enough money that I actually want. So
Mhm.
it's already there. So if I just need to manage my operating costs until I'm 60, and my money should still be there. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to still keep pushing for next 20 years. So
That's awesome. Yeah. And the good news is, I mean, it's never too late to start. I mean,
yeah,
even
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
starting in your late 30s, like
yeah,
you still have plenty of time to really
yeah,
fill that
yeah,
gap.
yeah, yeah,
And even if you're in your 40s or 50s,
yeah.
what I always say is like starting now is always going to be better than
Yeah.
starting 5 or 10 years from now. Right.
It's far better than never starting before. Like last time I used to be honest. Okay, 9:30 p.m. is when the market opens in Singapore.
Mhm.
It's the stock market. And I find very funny because last time I used to play game. Now I don't play game. 9:30, I just log into my account, just see different. Last time I had no idea how to do a bit of research. So now I look at the financials of the company, how much net profit they're making, what is their fair value, what is their business growth looking like, what is their 5 years plan kind of thing. No idea. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to read all that stuff. But I think once I built my foundation, I felt, oh, now I can step up my game a bit. A lot of people talk about it. Let's just research a bit more and basically go from there. So I think, yeah, I think that's one thing I learned from your course is the foundation is very important. And I think a lot of Instagram pages talk about a lot of very high level things, but there's no foundation in it. And that's where people don't really catch those topics in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. And, the way I see it is it's easy to make money when the market's going up and everything,
Yeah,
kind of like right now, at the time of this recording, the market
yeah,
is doing really well and it attracts a lot of newer investors who kind of want to cash in on that. The danger there is like if you don't have that foundation in place, whenever the market does flip or turns
yeah.
or has a little bit of a correction, the people who get wiped out first are the people who don't have a foundation in place.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's the people
So,
with a foundation who can take advantage of the sales because they know how the game works. They've set themselves up to again invest from a
yeah,
position of strength, so they're not going to panic sell. They can actually panic buy and take advantage of
yeah.
the sales, which is the whole purpose of that foundation.
I think I experienced that phase as well because when I had no knowledge, I bought crypto for 30K. It became 8K. I bought Solana for like $15 or $8, something like that. And it became minus. And eventually I got so frustrated that I don't want to touch crypto. So what I did is I sold everything. I said, I loss or not loss, I do not want to get into the crypto game.
Mhm,
But I think that was a stupidity because I didn't know the foundation. Now Solana is running at 300 or I don't know, $200 or something like that.
mhm.
So point was, if I had the strong foundation, I would have continued that one. And when it was done, I probably could have pushed a bit more and would have gained now. But I think, like I said, any experience is a good experience. So now I can relate back when I read your book and I read, it says when the screen turns red, everybody panic and people start selling. Oh, I want to go and buy. That's a shopping time. So
And that's earned experience right there. So you're right
yeah, yeah,
that maybe you've made, even people listening, maybe you made some financial mistakes or investing
yeah,
mistakes in the past. It's, first off, it's not uncommon. Everybody's made
yeah,
some sort of mistake. And second off, the best thing you could do is learn from it, apply what you've learned to building your foundation, and then move forward. Because
yeah.
if you sit there and use those losses as excuses to never start, or just say investing's a scam and never touch investing again,
No,
that's where it's dangerous. But Akash, like
definitely.
you're turning it into a lesson, which is powerful.
And I think it's good lesson because once you hit, you burn your hand. Where you have to be a bit cautious,
Mhm.
and that also you can spot. Like I spotted your course when I bought it. I mean, to be honest, okay, I didn't go upright and buy your course. To be honest,
Mhm.
I follow through your page, see your, your Instagram pages. That's okay. Something somewhat relevant to me. Then I waited. I think it's that debate from there. Reading, the free stuff.
Mhm.
I see. Oh, got discount. Okay, now it's time for me to go and buy and try. I mean, that's also an investment. Whether it turns out to be a bad investment, good investment is a different question. Basically, whereas I buy, I read. I say, damn, your guide, if I'm not wrong, is about 100 pages. And I read the first 2 pages. I'm like, oh, this is a good investment, man. This is what I wanted.
Oh, that's
So
incredible.
I wish my wife could read as well, but she's like, you do it for me. I focus on baby. I don't want to do it. You do it for me. It's fine. So I like, oh, you should read at least one time.
Hey, and maybe she will in the future. I mean, the cool thing is, again,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Money Mastery, you have lifetime access to it, so you'll
yeah,
always have the material. It's there for
yeah.
you. Plus, it's always being updated. I'm always adding new tools in there, which is also a nice part. But I'm curious, first off, yeah, thank you for sharing, like being transparent with your journey, everything you've kind of
Yeah.
gone through, all of your learning.
You helped me a lot, so I have nothing to hide as such, to be honest. I mean, like, to be honest, I don't know what I would do if I didn't find your course. I would still be lost, basically, the way I see it myself.
To me, it pumps me up seeing all the progress you've made, Akash. Like
Yeah,
hearing your net
yeah,
worth updates, it gets me excited. So I'm glad you're able to come on, share these experiences. Before we officially wrap this up, I want to ask you one more question, which is, who would you recommend Money Mastery to the most? Like, who do you think this program would be best for, and why?
in my view, it is best for anybody, basically. But let's just assume if trading is not your primary job, then this job is for you. Trading is not your primary job, it basically means you probably are not very strong with the foundation. And you are somebody like me. I work for IT basically. So it's not my primary job, but I still want to have money. I still want to retire. I still want to have extra money if I can get. So anybody whose job is not into trading and who is thinking about retirement or something like that, I think this goes for them. And the best part I like is not talking about how to make quick money, how to make stock investment. He's talking about how holistically you look at your financials, how holistically you plan your retirement, how holistically you make your choices in your life. Before the course, I made a lot of, I can tell you, I just buy randomly a lot of shit basically. And then, and once I feel like it's just sitting there, I'll just throw them off. Now, after the course, what I did is the items that I bought and just sitting there, I see I'm not using them. I flip them, sell them, and use that money, invest back into my IBCAN and probably cover my losses as well. So, and like for my iPhone, this iPhone is almost 4 years. Last time I used to change like every single year basically. But slowly I started to realize I don't need to change. So I can run it for 4 years and probably do a major upgrade. I'm still enjoying. It's not like I'm cutting down a lot of my enjoyment. I'm still enjoying. I'm still going on trips. Whenever my wife say, "Oh, she's got bored. Let's go for a trip." No problem. Anything that brings joy to my family. I think that's what I get from your course. And I think it's for anybody and everybody who is not into trading, because I assume if you're into trading, you already know the basic concept. But if your trading is not your primary job, and I think it's for them, even for trading, if people want to have that foundation. But to me, it's for anybody. And I talk to a lot of friends. I suggest them that even though I've got like 3 friends who I gave 1 hour counseling because they feel like I somehow they start to feel that I know more, but I actually don't know more. I just learned, I just do my own
Yeah.
research. But I think that 1 hour doesn't really give them anything. It just gives them a bit of introduction. But I think I basically like them. So go and look for your course. Don't need to go buy the big courses. I mean, to be honest, I spent like 2+ K into one course and then made mistake differential. I spent a lot more money into doing that. And to me, education itself is an education investment. Anybody and everybody who wants to retire and manage their money better way, in a holistic way, not just part of like stock buying and selling, go to your course.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, first off, huge thanks to you, Akash, for sharing your story
Hey,
and being so open again about the challenges. And
hey, you changed my life, man. You changed my life. Otherwise, I would have been still be lost. And I can tell you when we bought the house 2 years, 3 years back, bloody my account was zero. So I was like questioning myself how my account is zero when I'm making 2 times of what my wife is making, and she has more money than I have. It means I'm not very good at managing money in that sense.
yeah, well, and you've come a long way since then. And
Oh,
I'm humbled
it's
to the
just
kind
done.
words.
It's just the entire table changed, man. The entire table is totally changed now.
I love it. I love it. Well, for everybody else listening in right now, if you kind of feel similar to maybe where Akash was before he joined Money Mastery, kind of feeling unstuck or feeling stuck or unsure where to kind of start, the exact system is inside Money Mastery to help you get unstuck and help build more of that clarity, that financial clarity. And like Akash mentioned, it's all kind of connected, right? It's like once you start managing your money better, you're going to be able to invest better. And then you're also going to be able to enjoy life a lot better by spending money on things you truly value. I like how you kind of cutting the iPhone and focusing the spending on more of the vacations. Again, that's what it's all about. It's not about never spending money at all. It's about
Yeah.
using money as a tool and spending it on the areas that you truly value, that bring the most joy out of your life, and cutting back on the areas where you're just like, maybe this, maybe I'm not a big car person, so I don't need to go buy a BMW, right? But I like to travel. I like to go travel the world. Then that's what it's all about. It's first off building a plan, and then building your plan around your life and where you get the most happiness from, and then using money as a tool to focus on the joyful stuff and cutting out all of the fluff. So yeah,
One thing to add,
go
the
for it.
last thing to add, your course is the keyword to me is stack assets. So it's what I focus. I need to stack. I mean, it's not about not buying the iPhone. It also is because if somebody likes to buy iPhone, sure, go ahead and
Yep.
buy. But then also you compare your liability versus the assets you're accumulating. Like I was telling my friend, he was asking me about, okay, last one, sorry, I'm taking too much of time. He was asking about the Flip 7 Samsung phone that recently launched. Said, oh, awesome phone. I say, yeah, sure, go ahead and buy, because he was asking me if I got any discount. I work for the company. I said, I don't have discount, but I can tell you I invested in the Samsung stock, and my is up by 12% because of you buying the phone. So I'm very happy you're going to go buy your phone. So stack assets is the keyword basically hit me the most from your course.
I love it, man, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's the getting into the ownership game, not the pure consumer game, which ironically that kind of seems to be what everybody's tricked into doing, is just being a mindless consumer. So I'm glad you were able to get on the other side of the transaction, Akash. I look forward to hearing about more of your progress. And it's nice, again, anybody listening, Akash is active in the community behind the scenes in the Money Mastery community. So I'm sure he'll continue to share his story. But thanks again for coming on here, man, and being so transparent. I think this is going to
Thanks,
be
Josh.
eye-opening for a lot of people.
Thanks, Josh. I can tell you, you changed my life. It was very different if you didn't see 2 years before. So I can say it's very different now.
I'm humbled, man. Thanks for the kind words.
Thanks a lot, man.